Now Connolly, interesting move for him. He's been in the 5/8 jumper first two rounds. He's in the lock today for Waikato. So a bit of shuffling from Coach Eugene Davis for this game today, as we see Harrison Langi didn't play last week, but back in there to start today. The other prop forward, sadly, Walker is still there at hooker for Waikato. And he plays the ball now as Connolly takes a second carry. So he's going to be occupying a ball-playing back rowers kind of role today, Waikato.
Oh, we had that from the Wellington lock today as well against Akarana.
Exactly. Watene is kicked down to Jackson Williams. Away comes Jackson Williams. Now here comes Daryl Walker. Third straight game for him in the centres today for Bay of Plenty, and looks like he's earned his team a penalty. And it's going to be Bay of Plenty with a good opportunity to attack Waikato's line now. A couple of players, Julian Drinnan, who was very good for, he's missed touch there, Kameta. What a terrible kick that was. And Waikato got bonus set here, and it's picked up by Kalis Putoko, wearing the 4 jersey today. I was about to say those two good players last week in that Bay of Plenty team, Julian Drinnan and Reed, the winger, will both be playing for the SG Bull Warriors team, and they play Penrith tomorrow. Here comes Penrith, rather Portman Paul. Sadly, a Walker at dummy half. Here comes Watene, and another penalty is coming for Waikato. In fact, it's going to Bay of Plenty.
That was, I mean, he didn't quite make his feet. Well, he fell over as he's sort of playing the ball, but Paki Parkinson has ruled that he hasn't got back to his feet in order to earn the right to play the ball. It's pretty picky, to be honest, at this level.
Another mistouch. That's not good for Bay of Plenty. So some work to do on the touch finders, but you're right about that. Is that really worth a penalty, that error these days? Fasita is going to play the ball for Waikato. Here's Connolly again, throwing himself into the line. Now Watene almost submitting on the tackle there. Watene had a great game last week against Akarana. Former Penrith Panthers SG ball player, but back in New Zealand now. And now Cowan can't quite link up with Morgan.
Really disjointed the attack for Waikato at the moment. The ball's got loose. He was holding that out in one hand. It was bound to be a handover, real loose carry. Here it is again.
Cowan just couldn't quite link up with Morgan effectively, and then there's the little error there. It actually looked like it might have been knocked forward there by the number 11 for Bay of Plenty there, Torohu Hona. But they got away with it.
A little messy from both these sides to start the game.
So Sabatini feeds a scrum, and straight out comes Boynton Rameka, playing in the centres. Played in at fullback for Bay of Plenty in that opening game against Akarana. Here comes Torohu Hona. Right on the halfway line here for Bay of Plenty hooker Jaden Gillies. And that's Whakatau, and now here comes a nice surge by Kite. Nice offload too, and Whakatau's got it again. Oh, that's unlucky there. That was a nice bust up the middle by the Lakers.
I mean, hitting the ball right on the advantage line. Connolly, you're going to get that. Nice little offload to Whakatau. Saw the space, and just a poor carry in the end meant that ball came popping loose. Whakatau, he was great last week real workhorse for a young kid. Remembering he's only 18, playing at this level, and he was fantastic.
Yeah, he really gutsed it out nicely. Good tackle by Damien Terona Hona on Faison Marshall. He's at fullback for Waikato. Now the centre, Morgan again. Takes a lot of tough carries for his team, and he's earned his team a penalty there, Cyrus Morgan. There's a few ex-Hamilton boys, high school first 15 players in this Waikato team today. So former teammates, and that has been a very good rugby union school over the last few years. A lot of good prospects coming out of that school in both codes. We're seeing a few of them in this Waikato team today.
They transfer their athletic skills over really, really well. You often see that when rugby boys come over to the league, and even if they've got they're sort of inexperienced in the game, just the ability to have a little bit more space, they really enjoy it.
That's a good carry by Paul, wasn't it? And now Cowan is giving it out to the other front rower, Harrison Langi. Right on the 20 here. The Waikato Mana. Sadly, Walker waits at dummy half. Watene. And now Kokohu. Fast play the ball, and away goes Sadly Walker. Nicely onto it as Watene. Got a try last week, and he's lost the ball within sight of the line. Hard luck there for Jarden Watene. Very close.
Covered in soap at the moment, that football. No one seems to be able to hold on to it.
Wow. Wilson Parata gets some attention there. Watene, oh, you could see what he was trying to, what was going through his head there. Just on his left shoulder was Kokohu. Just thinking, I want to get the ball to him. So Tarangi Kawanoa, Wilson Parata just struggling a little bit with injury. Injury to Wilson Parata doesn't look like he's coming right anytime soon. A little concern around his right knee there.
We didn't see what happened, but knees are never a good, never a good indication of an injury. Can't potentially come back from that in a hurry. Let's hope it's not one of the more serious ligaments, ACL.
Yeah, maybe he just fell awkwardly in that tackle on his last carry. It looked like he's struggling to get any weight on that injury at all, so Wilson Parata doesn't look like he'll be back. We've got Tahere Kaio Koreheke on the bench today. Does Waikato, he started at hooker in the first game, at lock in the second game. Versatile player. I'm sure we'll see him into the game now. Will cause a little bit of reshuffling. So we're going back to that scrum where we saw Watene lose the ball. So in fact, Eugene Davies has decided, actually, I'm going to bulk up my my forward opportunity. This is via Finau. He's coming on for his first taste of the Ruben Wiki Cup action. So Plenty with his defensive scrum feed. Straight away they're looking to create some space for Wairua, Jackson Williams. Now away comes Sabatini. Skillful, elusive player. Whakato waits at a dummy half. Nice late shift of the ball there to Angus Gillies. So both Gillies brothers playing today, and there is Angus playing it to his brother, Jaden, who's going to skip out at dummy half. Jaden got a try last week against Counties Manukau. In fact, the first one that Bay of Plenty scored in that game. Whakato. Aramakite. Laying a 10 for Bay of Plenty. former mid-central 18s players. There goes the kick there from Harris Kameta. And now Waikato have got the ball. And their set's going to start on their 20. Good kick chase from Bay of Plenty. So no score in this vital game. Remember, the winner of it goes through to next week's semi-finals as Marshall takes the next carry. Well, based on what we've seen so far, it's going to be a tight game. Pressure getting to both teams just a little bit with some basic errors. Suggests to me, Wairangi, that if one of these teams can just tidy that aspect of play up, then that might be enough. That's a good kick from Watane. And back to salvage the ball before it went into touch for a 40-20 was Wairua Jackson Williams.
Yeah, I mean, that was smart play from Waikato. Just settle it down a little bit, turn the Bay of Plenty Lakers around and try and push them down this end of the field, make them turn around, those big boys, and carry it out.
Here comes the next carry. This is Hebden Penatoa. Out on that left edge. Back row position again. It's good tackle coming in from Sadlia Walker. Good chase from him. No room there for Whakatau. Messi play the ball, but referee Parkinson says play on. Sabatini with that kick well inside his 40, and he's found some space, but the bounce wasn't kind for him. And Faison Marshall, did he drop it there? I reckon he did. Faison Marshall has come up with the error there. And it's going to be Bay of Plenty with an attacking scrum here. Great opportunity 10 minutes in.
Yeah, good chase as well. I mean, it was well set up from Bay of Plenty. A deep kick down into the corner. Some real basic errors from both of these sides. Just creating pressure on themselves throughout this first half. Nobody's been able to really build a lot of pressure.
Well, we'll see if that changes now. With Sabatini with the scrum feed here. See what the Lakers can cook up here through Whakatau. Immediately spreading the ball. Good tackle coming in from Dallas, or on Dallas, Boynton Rameke from Baratoka, the winger. Good stepping there from Jackson Williams. They're inside the 10 now, the Bay of Plenty side. Gillies has a little dart from dummy half. He's just short. Good tackle from Noah Connolly. Whakatau. That's Kameta. Now Sabatini's going to hold the ball. Well handled there by Cowan. The Waikato number 22. Whakatau at dummy half. Nice cutout pass, and it's almost been taken there by Salusi. He should have really taken that one near the nuggety winger. And in the end, he's lost it forward. I think that's going to be more Bay of Plenty ball.
I mean, yeah, he put himself in a good position. Salusi kept his eye on the football, got himself in the passing lane, got up and to catch it. And once again, it's just, I'm pretty sure it's the sulfuric mud from Rotorua that's still on that ball. Oh, there we see it. An error straight away. That was Whakatau that way. Suggestions that it went backwards, but real messy rugby league at the moment from both of these sides.
Well, Whakatau disappointed. Brisbane player. Did play one game for the SG Ball side this season so far. Way off the interchange against the Dragons back in late February. Though Adam Blair, the coach of that team, remember, got a big squad. There's 36 in the squad. He's looking to give boys opportunities. And that SG Ball team are over in Sydney to play Penrith tomorrow. I think they're defending champions of the SG Ball title winners last year as Marshall. Handled by his opposite number there, Wairua Jackson Williams. Putoko. Here's Connolly. Good tackle coming in there from Manaya Hapi. Front rower for Bay of Plenty. And now here comes Langi again, a hard-working prop. Plenty of hand touches for him. And he's earned his team a penalty there, has Harrison Langi.
Not sure what that penalty was for.
Now, is this one going to find touch? Yes, it is. Of course, Kameta's the one that's been having problems. Jarden Watene here, marshalling his team. Pretty experienced player for this age group. And now comes Paul again, who's been one of the more impressive props in the competition.
Yeah, he was big last week.
Remember, we'll be picking a tournament team at the end of this competition. Oh, here comes Finau. A man to handle, big man to handle. Sadly, Walker. Here's Connolly at first receiver. Watene standing wider of the ruck this time. That's nice execution. Oh, was that a tries and touch? Hard lick there for Caston Baratoka. And he's just missed the opportunity to score in the corner. But a nice play from Waikato. That was a bit more crisp, Warangi.
Yeah, good spread here, even though it was probably a little bit deep. That ball was lovely. And it had the corner open to him, just couldn't squeeze it in there.
Well, Jackson Williams flew across there, the fullback, to just put enough pressure there on Baratoka. So, still no score in this game. Been fairly even in these first 15 minutes. 35-minute halves, remember, as we see Darryl Walker playing the ball there. Kohu trying to put some pressure there on that Bay of Plenty player. Oh, it's a good tackle right there on Noroa. He was going nowhere. And there's a kick inside the 40, looking for distance. But that's easily handled by Marshall. And here comes Faison Marshall, and he's got the ball under control this time. So Lucy plays dummy half, and that right there was not at all what was required. You've got to leave that sort of play in the locker room.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it was the catch or the pass that was the problem.
Both.
So Lucy just, so he picked it up, almost sort of fake dummy to his opposite winger. And then Baratoka sort of was jumping as he was catching the ball, so comedy of errors there.
Yeah, comedy of errors, and no one was laughing. Here's Whakato. Oh, he's lost it. And that was a straight loose carry as well. Whakato looking up, hoping that a penalty was coming his way, but not to be.
He'd be a little bit disappointed. That's the third error for Whakato. He was so good last week. And this time, looks like it might have just hit the ground and popped out of his grasps.
Well, not too much for the crowd here to get too excited about just yet. But the excitement's coming. There's Salusi. Trying to get rid of Walker. And late offload, and that puts his teammates under pressure. Back goes Cowan to tidy up. Waikato again putting themselves under pressure as Connolly is smashed. Good front-on shot there by Jaden Gillies, and now here comes Finau again with a late offload. In the end, Waikato still have it. Putoko. Waikato reckons he lost it, but the referee says Waikato still have it. Finau now is handled comfortably by the Bay of Plenty defence. Cowan. Here's Portman Paul standing wide of the ruck this time, and that's looking better for Salusi. Salusi. Portman Paul, an excellent support. What a pass. That's how to do it. And Cowan is going to go over and score the try. And I tell you, there was 10 seconds of brilliant rugby league that far eclipsed the first 18 minutes of play.
That was one of the most frustrating sets of six I've seen in a long time in this competition, at least. But Just a nice ball movement across the left-hand side. So Lucy carrying the ball in one hand, beats his opposite number. The ball back on the inside to Portman Paul. What was he doing up in the centres on the left-hand side in the first place? And what was he doing backing up his winger? But they got away with it in the end, Waikato. A crossover for the first points of the game. It wasn't pretty, but it doesn't have to be. They come up with a pretty good 4-pointer in the end.
Tia Tuhuia Cowan with the try, and a upper central age group rep through the grades, and not playing in the first 2 games for Waikato, but out there today. And well, got to give Portman Paul a big rap here. I mean, not only is his hit-ups really effective as well, but he's a great ball-playing prop.
He probably just frustrated at the backs dropping the ball all the time, so I thought I'd better get out there and actually do some ball work.
And Watene using, let's say, the full geometric width of the goalposts. But you know what? It doesn't matter how it goes over, it's if it goes over. 6-0. Jaden Watene, ex-Kibraha Park High School student, or one of his buddies that year. He's in the same year as Reece Walsh. So 6-0. Kaya Koroheke is on. Celia Walker off for Waikato. Still feels like this game is, even though we saw some brilliant rugby league there from Waikato, they've plenty still well and truly in this game. Coaches Jason Kameta and Eugene Davis just want to see these basic errors that have plagued this game being eliminated.
Yeah, whichever team can sort of settle themselves down a little bit, hold on to the ball, complete some sets, catch the ball on the full off the kickoff would help.
Well, the game is there for the taking, isn't it? As we see Finau throw himself into the line.
Well, both these teams gave themselves every opportunity last week against some pretty formidable opposition to win the game. And it was purely on the back of holding the ball, starving the opposition of the pill. Here's a pretty silly penalty against Bay of Plenty there. Gives Waikato an opportunity to get down into a good ball set. Play some attacking football.
Be up here. Be up here. Let's go. No piggyback.
So Waikato got a full set inside the 40. So more defence coming up for Bay of Plenty. See as Portman Paul gets ready to take the first carry again. Went nice and low on him that time, did the Bay of Plenty team. Angus Gillies, and here comes the next carrier, Langi. Big props, just big Paul, Langi, also Finau, just starting to give Waikato a measure of control in this game as Connolly. It's taken by Jaden Gillies, Taupo Phoenix player. Kaya Koroheke, now here's Cowan. Portman Paul, he's a back rower at the moment, each player. They're keeping it on the short side as Cowan gives it out to Salusi. Try number 2 for Waikato. And that is better execution. And again, it comes down this left-hand side. And it is Waikato all of a sudden getting things right.
Yeah, they showed glimpses of really good structure last week, Waikato. That was a great ball in the end, great vision. Lucy dots it down to the corner for the second try in pretty quick fashion.
His second try of the competition, got one last week against Akarana, Salusi. So plenty for Bay of Plenty to think about here. After just to start with, they've just not quite. They're just not quite knowing what either. There seems to be a lack of confidence at the moment between the combinations. Just not quite clicking, are they?
Yeah, sometimes the sort of change in personnel, in particular your halves can do that to a side. A little bit more organisation last week, some quality halves, and then to have a couple of new guys step into the role and minimal time together through the week. They have to quickly find their voices in their organisation in this game in order to be able to really compete.
Waitene just missing there. So 10 points to 0 with about 12 minutes left in this first half. Tries to Cowan and to Salusi for Waikato here in Rotorua. Earlier today, reminding you that Akarana beat Wellington by 44-22. And the winner of this game will get through to the semis next week, and they'll play the winner of tomorrow's game between counties Manukau and the South Island. The loser of tomorrow's game is going to play Akarana in the semi-finals next week. Both games on Saturday in 7 days' time, and reminding you the final is coming on the following Saturday to that, April the 1st. Will be the final of the Ruben Wiki Cup for 2022. 2 weeks today is Jordan Watane. He's tackled by Kameta. Straight dart out of dummy half again by Waikato. That time it was Inga Kokohu, and now here's Finau again. Angled run that time, but he's handled nicely by Damien Te Rohu Honda. Kaio Koroheke, here's Cowan, giving it out to Morgan. Morgan taken by Daryl Walker. Now here comes Ben Swelly. Whoops, he's lost it.
Yeah, freshly onto the park and comes up with an error straight away. Big body too, Seuli. Just needed to time his run a bit better there. I feel like if he really wound up and got that ball on the go. Not sure what's going on with these footballs today.
Well, but he's another one that's just switched over from rugby, giving league a crack, and that's the basics of the game on display there. Got to play it correctly. Oh, it's a clean break here by Kameta for Bay of Plenty. Got to try and link up here. Couldn't quite link up with Wairua Jackson Williams. Nice surge there. That's got Bay of Plenty on the front foot here as we see the next carry by Noroa. Good tackle by Marshall. Bay of Plenty looking to create something through Hebden Penatoa. Good leg drive from him. He's down to the 10. Plenty looking for some shape out on the right-hand side here. Nicely gathered there by Torohu Honda. But good tackling now as Waikato get their defensive line nice and organised once more. Whakatau managed to just... He has lost it there, hasn't he? Half it's just not happening for Taimana Whakatau today. Oh, I tell you what, a captain's challenge would have been interesting there. I reckon he got it clean there.
Once again, replay. I mean, Paki Parkinson has to keep it consistent, but yeah, those penalties are very, very nitpicky.
Yeah,
in the game.
So, home team getting no latitude from the referee whatsoever at the moment. Waikato, though, have been playing well. Kokohu again. Kaio Koroheke. Finau, remember we saw Fasita injured in the game. And they don't have Jaden Lyle today, who's arguably been alongside Portman Paul their best forward in the 3 games they've, or 2 and a bit games they've played so far. Jaden Lyle's been really solid as Cowan. Looks to organise again, and Langi.
Oh, he is playing out in the left back row.
Yeah. Here's Kaio Koroheke again. Morgan trying to get it to Salusi. Lucy did brilliant to keep it in the field of play here, and Luggy's picked it up really well. Good play here from Waikato. Last play now for them. Oh, little bobble at dummy half. Oh, that's unfortunate. That had a nice roll on there, Waikato.
Surprising play down that short side, so Lucy managed to keep the ball in. And once again, just from both sides, just such basic errors.
So 10 points to 0. 6 minutes to play until half-time. Glorious day, isn't it, Rotorua? As we see Sabatini getting Daryl Walker in the game again. Flat pass, but not forward according to the officials, as we saw Boynton Ramika make that one, and now here comes Fiona Moroa on that left wing for Bay of Plenty in this game. And now Whakato. I'm sure we'll play this one correctly. Here's Gillies. Hampton Penator, tall lanky lad. Better set of six this time from Gillies. They get to their kick. Now, was that played at by that Waikato player? Looked like there was a knock-on from Bay of Plenty in the very least. We'll see what referee Parkinson says here.
Hand over there,
yeah. Hand over, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that was played at. It was fired straight into his shoulder there. Not a bad option, just execution was poor. He turned his head down.
Was there an error there as well? It wasn't, says referee Parkinson, so...
That's been a good shot.
Yeah. Good elusive run coming here from Kalis Putoko. Even jinking run by the centre. Here's Cowan. Now to Salusi. Tough man to handle, isn't he? Koro Heke skips out a dummy half. Opportunity down the left flank again here for the hooker. Fast play the ball. This could be interesting. As we see Sweely inside the 10 on the last play now. Kai Koro Heke. That's Watane. That's touched by that Bay of Plenty player, and ruled to have gone forward from referee Parkinson, so Waikato are going to get a fresh set here. And back and back play. This is Kalis Putoko, who hasn't got up from that last carry of his. Dallas Boynton Rameka came off him.
He was just looking for one of those outside runners.
We've got to say here, with the score at 10-0, big point of the game here for Bay of Plenty. They've got to keep Waikato out here.
Yeah, good opportunity here.
Watane's going short side. The Bay of Plenty defence was open to that prospect. Here's another little dab at the line by Kokohu, who is just short. And rolled over into the in goal. I wondered whether he... the way was the way play referee Parkinson's going back to rule it a held up. Koro Heke. Now Connolly. There's Finau. We're going to squeeze between those defenders. Good roll on here to the left for Bay of Plenty as Cowan. Already got one try in the game. Critical Bay of Plenty hold on here. 10-0 looks much better on the scoreboard than 16-0 potentially as Connolly. Connolly! He's going to score next to the posts. Noah Connolly. Third try for Waikato, and now Bay of Plenty can't hold out Waikato, and the Mana sees real control on the scoreboard now.
Yeah, feel easy try in the end, but He's got those ball playing abilities, this Connolly. Played half in the last 2 rounds, and this is where it was all set up. In the end, Connolly back on the inside. He's been playing lock today. Little show and go, little step. That was a nice in and away. The defender just left in the chair. Yeah, fine play from Waikato, just a little bit too much pressure for the Bay of Plenty to handle. Nice little step in and away. He's actually a better better runner than he is a ball player. Connolly, I mean, he was most threatening in the last couple of weeks whenever he really took the line on. And he's playing lock today, and probably given the opportunity from Eugene Davies to show how good he is.
It's Jarden Watene with his second conversion of the game. He's 2 from 3 on his goal kicking stats. It is 16 points to 0. Well, scratchy start by Waikato, and they've certainly been the more efficient.
Yeah, just really. I think Bay of Plenty has really offered Waikato every opportunity to post these points throughout this first half. A lot of errors coming out of the Lakers side, but look, if they manage to be able to rectify that in the second half, they'll give themselves every opportunity to come back here. There's only 3 tries in it, but there's the hooter there, so looks like that's half time.
Yeah, certainly is half time. So right on the death now, really good score for Waikato with tries to Cowan, Salusi and Connolly, and they have a comfortable lead over Bay of Plenty, 16 points to 0.
Why am I going to my 5th Olympic Games?
Valerie Adams.
I want to do this for my babies. I want to do this to inspire them. But I know this journey is going to be the most difficult campaign that I will ever embark on.
Another day, another gold medal winning throw.
Anyone who goes undefeated for over 100 events is superhuman.
I was always the tallest kid at primary school. I'm 6'4" at 12.
She was teased so much.
I just never fit in. When we came into the picture, there was already a few kids before us.
My version is that there's 13 of us.
But it depends on who you ask. Margaret, Barry,
Steve, Gabby, Lisa,
Ralph, Warren.
I don't want to miss anybody else.
Have I said Patty? When I was born, we were living in Tonga for a period of time. My sister and I and my mum came to New Zealand and tried to adapt to New Zealand way of life.
Valerie's very first competition, she didn't have shoes.
We had no money, but we had love. When my mum passed away, I made a commitment to her that I was going to continue this dream. It was my light. It was my motivation. This time next week, I'm going to be leaving New Zealand for 4 months. It's the longest time I've been away from my kids.
This is greatness. This is what it takes.
I am 36. I'm not favoured to medal, but I'm up to the challenge. I was going through excruciating pain.
It was at that point I thought I could be a solo dad, for the rest of my life.
She's putting back into the community, both in New Zealand and in Tonga.
She works so hard. She sacrifices so much.
I miss you. Very proud of you.
Welcome to the Kiwi Football Fix.
I love it. I think it's great.
Rip into the A-League, the Premier League, and all the build-up to the FIFA Women's World Cup.
Absolutely wonderful.
Kiwi Football Fix, Wednesday on Sky Sport.
Well, it's half-time here in Rotorua. I hope you're enjoying the coverage here of this big game between Bay of Plenty and Waikato Mana in the NZRL 20s for 2023. A big game in respect. The winner of this team, or this game, will go through to the semi-finals next week. And at this stage, Waikato are looking certainly the most powerful of the two teams today. And it's just their execution that has got them over the line, particularly the first try, which came from nothing really. There was no sign from either team that something really cool was about to be executed. And in the end, it was Waikato who attacked from deep within their own half and executed a very good try. There's Watene. And in the end...
This was a missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity, wasn't it? But here's the try coming up here. Salusi setting it up after a great play from Portman Paul, who supported really well, and a great pass to Cowan.
Yeah, Portman Paul moved out to the left edge, into the back row position, and he set that up with a good pass to Salusi and then got the ball back again.
But it's the big boppers that are really doing quite well, aren't they? Sweely.
Lead at half-time. And yes, like you mentioned, they're just being the better of the two sides throughout that first 35 minutes. A little bit better completion rate. If Bay of Plenty can rectify that in the second half, they'll give themselves an opportunity to get back in this game.
100%. Salusi was the other try scorer for Waikato in the first half. But stay with us. We've got the second half coming up here in Rotorua right after this.
This season, get behind the LPGA Tour.
What a shot from Nelly Corder. It's going to be a tap in.
Good drive from Lydia Cope.
Stay fixed on these athletes as they have fun along the way.
Well, how good is that? Beautifully played.
The LPGA, live all season with Sky Sport.
Welcome to paradise.
UK TV presents a killer pop-up channel event.
Wow, it's incredible.
Sun, sand, and
murder. Murder? Murder.
Ah! Every case of death in paradise for you to crack.
There's 1,000 ways to kill a man. Devil is in the detail.
Over 1 week of murder, mystery, and mocktails.
Wow, what excellent detective.
The Death in Paradise pop-up channel starts Monday, March 27, channel 207 on Sky.
Art is all around us, if you know how to find it. It's here.
Oh, I love them.
It's there.
Gave me like this huge adrenaline rush and I was like shaking.
It's everywhere.
Cyberspace is the new meeting place.
It's magical. Art can change mind and heart.
It can be serious, silly, sublime.
You know, we were the art.
Sky Arts.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most believable of them all?
Come on then, who is it?
The wickedest wit of the West?
Well, it's just a one-night stand.
Or is the baffling Brit the very best?
It is, of course, true.
Yeah! Who is the king of tales?
Any idiot can do it.
And whose fibs will go off the rails?
Choo, choo. Clack, clack, clack. Where am I?
This is what I call a nightmare scenario.
Would I Lie to You? Fridays at 7, new to UK TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
And it's lights out and away we go!
For the return of the fastest show on the telly, Sky Speed.
We have a monster year in front of you.
Join Murph and McIver.
Where does that come from?
For another spin around the track.
It's year number 10 for us.
To see if there's anything left in the tank.
It is hard to believe we're still putting up with each other.
Sky Speed, Tuesday on Sky Sport. Brought to you by BP Ultimate.
Welcome back to Puketa Federal Park here in Rotorua. This is NZRL 20s action in the Ruben Wiki Cup. Bay of Plenty and Waikato Mana 16 points to 0 to Waikato. Winner through to the semi-finals next week to play the... Just got to get this right, don't we? The winner of tomorrow's game between Counties Manukau and the South Island. Really looking forward to that game, actually, Wairangi. That's going to be a terrific encounter. And two very good wins for both teams. That one coming from Dunedin at midday tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot on the line. I mean, at a really quality stadium as well. Probably have the roof on there down Bruce Forsyth. So we're going to, looking forward to our big clash. And it is a big one because, you know, you come out on top there and you face the winner of this game, which most likely, well, you know, with 35 minutes to go, it looks like it might be Waikato. But anything can happen throughout the second half of football.
Yeah, so confirming that game at midday tomorrow, live on Sky Sport 4, home of Rugby League, of course. Plenty of league coming up later today. In the NRL as well, with the Warriors up against the Cowboys. 7:30 kickoff in that game. Right now, we're not far away from a second half here with Bay of Plenty down by 16 points to 0. Not able to get things going particularly effectively like they were against the Counties Manukau team last week. Remember, they were led that game at halftime, 20 points to 18. And one player we haven't seen get into the game at all is Callum Pereira for Bay of Plenty. Last week, he was a real live wire energy guy. We haven't seen him feature at all in this game, which is a shame. Let's see what he can do in the second half, but they're just going to have to get these Bay of Plenty, I think, to start with. They're going to have to get the big forwards, big middle forwards that Waikato have, get them on their backsides, on the grass quickly.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I suppose while Waikato have got some big boys through the middle, Waikato haven't been able to build enough pressure and really start tiring some of those big boys out in order for them to open up some gaps and get some of those quicker, more nimble of the Bay of Plenty players through.
Well, the good sign is there is still time for Bay of Plenty to turn it around. It's the old adage, if Waikato can score 16 points in the first half, we can score 16 in the second half. So that's the attitude they've got to go into the second half with. As Kite gets the play underway again, Jaden Gillies. And now Kameta, again, not really the type of play you'd want with the second hit up. After half-time, you want more of a bigger body like this lad here. Laid off, low. Whakato's got it now. Good play there from Hebden Penatoa to free up Whakato. Now Bay of Plenty got a good boil on here as Sabatini sneaks through. That's a good pass to Walker. This is looking great for Bay of Plenty. It's Angus Gillies just thrown into touch on their far side. Well, that's unlucky there for Bay of Plenty, but some encouraging signs straight after half-time.
Yeah, indeed. Far more enthusiastic. And the hit up in the offload from Hebden Penatoa to Whakato was fantastic. In the end, just ran out of room.
Well, some good covering defence too by those Waikato players. But they'll be on alert now as Bay of Plenty start the second half pretty well. Kaia Koroheke and now Finau. Plenty will look to slow the play. The ball down through Elijah Hebden Penatoa. Kaia Koroheke. Now cutting back on a nice angled run this time was Inga Kokohu for Waikato. And now Ben Swilly.
There you go, that's what you wanted. Turtle the big man onto his back.
Connolly got that try just before half-time. No space for him on that occasion. As Happy makes the tackle. Last play now is Watene. Just to put Wairua Jackson Williams under pressure, but he's a good fullback, this lad. And he has not been rattled. He's an excellent player.
Late to the party. There was Sayuli, lucky to get away with that. But immediately better from both sides. especially the Bay of Plenty. More direct running, more focus and concentration in that play the ball area.
Almost through was Jaden Gillies, the hooker. Just needed someone running off his shoulder. But again, Bay of Plenty putting together a decent set here. Here's Waikato looking for some support out the back door. He's got some through Manaya Hapi.
Yeah, back as a 0 tackle. That ball was touched on the way out of Wakato's offload. So, whole set to play with here.
Oh, Penatua. Yeah, Hepton Penatua's been very good in the second half so far. Threatening runs for the big lad. Now Jaden Gillies. Just going to have a little dab himself. Maybe wasted a tackle there with Aramakite looming up there, but not used on that occasion. Kameta, good hands there. And here's Jackson Williams. Here's a chance for Bay of Plenty out on this right flank. Angus Gillies smashed by Salusi. Good tackle by the Waikato winger.
Salusi's looking up and saying, I think he dropped the ball as well.
Yeah, may well have. Tarohu Horna still with a chance here for Bay of Plenty. There's a little nudge through a pretty decent little kick there, but I wondered whether it was going to go too long, but it hasn't. And there's the try for Elijah Hepton Penatua, a good try too. And Bay of Plenty are on the board.
Well, he's just taking it upon himself to get the job here. Hepton Penatua came out from the first opening stanza, the second tackle. He opened up the Waikato defence straight away. And then since then, he's been in and around the ball, trying to create something. This time, just chases through the kick, and it looked like it was going to be too deep, but it popped up perfectly for him. He dots down for their first try, and they're a different team that have come out in the second half. Bay of Plenty.
Yeah. Great little kick through, wasn't it? But I really like the work of Hepton Penatua. Looks solid. Of course, goal kicking could be crucial here for Jason Kameta. 3 from 5 last week. He's got a nice one in front of the post here to get things started. 16-6. Great start to the second half for Bay of Plenty. First 5 minutes.
Yeah, a lot better. A lot more intent in the run. Good quality offloads. Way more direct, so yeah, good start for Jason Kameta's boys.
Well, we saw the impact that Kalan Clyde made when he came onto the field for Akarana, and in that previous game, Wairangi, and the man who made that little kick through was Callum Pereira. We talked about him not used in the first half by Jason Kameta, and now he's come on and instantly created something. The Warriors SG ball player. So Kameta straight away. Here's a good burst up the field here for Bay of Plenty. And it was Kameta, Aramakite. Again, look at Bay of Plenty, the space there. And then, over the halfway inside 2 tackles, and Noroa just drops it. That's a real bummer for Bay of Plenty. Boy, they had the boil on there.
Yeah, I think, well, Connolly must have just got his hands to this ball as he was getting pummeled backwards. He must have gave his hands a little tug and that ball came loose. But yeah, all the pressure released and they're looking really good. I like that kickoff return. Looked like the half was going to run, and he turned it back on the inside to his big prop, and he went streaming down that left edge. Waikato breathed a sigh of relief there.
What? Cowan with the scrum feed. Now Waikato with a chance here. Wow, it's been lost there. It's been lost by Cyrus Morgan. The referees ruled knock-ons both way there, so Waikato are actually going to get the ball back.
Must have been touched by a Bay of Plenty player first. Here it is. I like the little movement here. Footwork just on the outside. Yeah, looked like he was trying to offload it. It might have been touched.
Bay Plenty a little unlucky there.
Yeah.
Got the scrum here through Connolly. Marshall. Good tackle from Whakato that time. Yeah, absolutely nailed him. They got the best two haircuts on the field today. Those two.
Pretty close, yeah.
Kaio Koroheke. Connolly. Handled by Aramakite. Now Finau. Big lad is via Finau. Kaio Koroheke's made a real difference at dummy half, hasn't he? Now here comes Langi. 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 Oh, yeah. Langi, that brought the crowd to their feet. Last play now for Waikato Mana. Good hands from Cowan, but all the momentum lost, and he's wrapped up. So the accuracy of the pass from dummy half just not quite there for Waikato on the last play.
He was under a heap of pressure. It was Kaio Koroheke trying to get that ball to his 5'8" as quick as possible.
Important yards here for Bay of Plenty. They don't want to make an error.
Yeah, good signs for Bay of Plenty as well. They scrambled really well, muscled up, and even when some of those big boys went through the line, they turned up in numbers to try and pull them down. That'll give them a little bit of confidence.
A little shift to the ball from Pereira. So Angus Gillies is playing on the wing today. Strong carrying again from the Bay of Plenty forwards. So they're going to get to their kick okay. There's Pereira. I think he's skied that one off the side of the boot. He has. It's unlucky, unfortunate.
Just rushed it a little bit. Didn't have a lot of pressure on him. He could have given himself an opportunity to line that ball up a little better. A good opportunity here for Waikato. They'll know that this is one of those opportunities they'll need to take. Just really temper those heating coals from the Bay of Plenty.
So Paul's going to play it with a kick out on the full. Straight away, Cyrus Morgan takes the first carry. Connolly, Finau, but rushing up to tackle him very effectively. Aramakite, former Hawke's Bay player, the same club as Tohu Harris. Here's Watane. Now here's Dallas, or rather here's Kalis Putoko. Connolly's lost it. So there goes another error in the game.
Yeah, fairly basic area. I thought maybe the pass was off a little bit, but Connolly there just not taking the time to focus on pulling that ball in first before he looked at the defensive line.
That was just a ticket for Bay of Plenty.
Okay, you're on, let's go.
Trying to claw themselves back from that 16-point deficit at half-time. 70-minute games, remember. 35-minute halves as Darryl Walker takes the next carry for Bay of Plenty. Here's Whakato looking, you just see, sense there was a bit of space behind the ruck. Sabatini back out there now, and here comes Hepton Penator, who's back out there, got that try. Sabatini plays dummy half inside, ball is a cracker to Pereira. Callum Pereira, good play. Whakato's got it. Trying to link up, it's still there for Bay of Plenty. Great ball. And Jackson Williams is over to score. A terrific Lakers try. Got a bit messy, threatened to break down, but in the end, they got there.
It was all over the place, and there was opportunities galore. That ball back on the inside, Pereira's been fantastic since he's been on the field. That ball hit Whakato. Whakato was looking for somebody else, and Waikato actually got a hand to that. Back on the inside. They got there eventually. But Ada with the final ball with Jackson Williams was the recipient. They were right back in this game.
Well, look, we're blessed with great fullbacks in this competition. Wairua Jackson Williams is certainly up with, you know, the other good fullbacks that we've got running around at the moment. Guys like Nepata, who we saw injure his knee last week for the South Island. Then we saw Jacob Nyman go back there. Robin Herbert has been great for Counties Manukau. And Wairua Jackson Williams is right up with those guys. Omaroa Gordon as well. Gee, we've got a hard task picking our fullback out of that lot in a couple of weeks, haven't we, for the tournament team?
Yeah, indeed.
We'll get there. So here's Jason Harris Kameta, captain of the team, has come through the Bay of Plenty grades for the Upper Central Stallions and great player. Son of the coach, of course. Well, it's game on now, isn't it? 16 points to 12. Remember, the winner is through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, far more confident, a lot more momentum on their side now. Bay of Plenty. A couple of the big names of this side have stood up throughout the second half and taken it upon themselves to really get their team home.
Well, Pereira, we've got to talk about him wearing 16 for Bay of Plenty. He's a half, but he's playing wide, too wide of the ruck too, and Warriors SG ball player can't get in their side at the moment. But from Redlands Rugby League Club, Southeast Coastal Brisbane, a number of 4 or 5 players coming over from Australia to try and crack it at the Warriors. And Callum Pereira, one of them. And yep, that was ahead of the kicker. So referee Parkinson is just in that mood today, isn't he, referee Parkinson? He's going to pick up the minute today.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the kickoff from the first kickoff from at half time. There was a couple of players that were well in front of the kick, and I thought to myself, well, he's let that one go. That's kind of it. There's no way he was going to let that one go. It was about 5 metres in front of the kicker.
Here's Pereira. Nice angled run coming back here from Christian Latonga, who's out there now for Bay of Plenty. Played in the centres in the last 2 games. Oh, good tackle. That's beauty. What a cracking tackle there from number 15, Inga Kokohu. And that was a potential momentum shifter for Waikato.
Yeah, really put the brakes on that Bay of Plenty side. Kokohu coming out of the line as quick as possible and knew exactly where the target was. Shut him down, came up with an error. Gives this team an opportunity just to take a deep breath here.
It was Hepton Penator who got smashed by Kokohu. Just the break Waikato were looking for as Kirsten Baratoka plays that one. Morgan with the next tough carry. Morgan. There's Portman Paul. There's the big boys going at it. It's great stuff. Muli Paula was in there trying to smash him, but Portman Paul, tell you what, he's a great player. Langi plays it now for Waikato. Watene. On the inside comes Wilson Parata, who's made a recovery from that knee injury in the first half. Watene at dummy half. In fact, there he is, Watene now making the kick. Oh, Jackson Williams has dropped it. Big chance here for Waikato. Oh, bonus try coming near. And over goes Baratoka to score. Well, an excellent kick from Watene. The depth on it was spot on. And it's 20 points to 12.
You always give yourself an opportunity. You put a ball up nice and high, and the chase is good enough, which it was. So a lot of pressure on the fullback. Came up with the error. Popped up at the back, and Baratoka came up with the ball. That's really unfortunate. He's going well today. Wairua Jackson Williams had that try just earlier that really got them back into the game. Now that try really halts the momentum for Bay Plenty.
Certainly does, and really that's come against the run of play as well. Waikato have had nothing really in these first 17, 18 minutes of the second half, other than that great kick there from Watane.
Well, it was a little bit like that in the first half as well, where nothing was really going for either side, and then suddenly out of nothing, Portman Paul produced a couple of good passes to give them their first points. So, like I say, opportunist. Sometimes you take those opportunities when they come.
So Watane.
I just seen him coming out.
Oh, it remains an 8-point margin.
Next play.
4 tries to 2 in the game. Cowan, Salusi, Connolly, and now Baratoka getting the tries. Ethan Penatoa and Jackson Williams, the try scorers for Bay of Plenty. Big score they had that one. Still a chance though for Bay of Plenty. Still plenty of time left in this game. 16 minutes of play. 35-minute halves, of course, at under 20s.
I'll tell you what, if you look back on this game, if Waikato get away with this win, and you look back on this game, you know, you did right in terms of momentum shifting. That Inga Kokohu hit,
yeah,
they came up with an error from Bay of Plenty. Was a big moment.
Well, they scored from that from the next set, didn't they?
Yeah.
There's Paul again. He is a damaging runner. Paul used to play 5'8". You can just see it, and there's a little error from Kaio Koroheke, but no, it's not an error, it's a penalty. And Whakato will just get in there and just rip the ball out of his hands.
I think he just
Parkinson not liking it.
Sorry, he just came back through the middle of the ruck there. That's where the error came from. Have a look here. Oh yeah, now that you're right. Stray hand in there, pulls the ball loose.
An interesting call that one is Langi. Gets in there again, Harrison Langi. Waikato getting a lot of value out of these big players up the middle of the field. Kaio Koroheke. Salia Walker back out there, has a little dart from dummy half too. An excellent run by the hooker who's back out there. Kaio Koroheke is staying on.
He must have gone to a lock position.
Indeed. Cowan, that's nice play. Watane. There's Portman Paul. Good tackling there on Paul. Langi is just going to try and power over through this Bay of Plenty defence, but oh, he's lost it. And referee's just going to rule that one a loose carry. A little messy again from...
we got the touchy coming in here.
Yeah. Oh, it's a penalty. Hang on, or is it? Let's just have a look and see if we can make a ruling here. What do you reckon, Wairangi?
It is a penalty.
It is a penalty, yeah. Wairua Jackson Williams is the player to give up the penalty.
Big moment here for Waikato. Both sides, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Wilson Parata.
Good contact from Whakato.
He doesn't lack heart and courage, does he? Kaio Koroheke. Watane. Trying to get out of Sabatini's tackle. Now here comes Kokohu. Plenty of excitement about the way he plays. Right by the post, Salia Walker. Here's Cowan, short ball to Paul. Nice hands from Portman Paul, and Morgan's over to score. Or is he? No, he isn't. Referee Parkinson's given possession to Bay of Plenty.
Portman Paul was running that back line. Have a look. Oh, he
He ruled obstruction there from Harrison Lungi.
Gee, that was tight. Oh man, I don't know if there was anybody obstructed.
Well, Bay Plenty get the call going their way, and who knows, that could keep them in the contest. Something like that.
Yes, indeed, plenty of time for it as well.
Oh, particularly if they can score from the set as Anaru Mulipula gets stuck in there, the coastline player. Here's a little dart from Pereira. Now Sabatini. Oh, there's space behind the ruck there just for a moment. Just couldn't quite capitalise there, Sabatini.
Like Pereira's energy is infectious.
Isn't it? There he is again. He's got great pace off the mark for a small lad. Sabatini. There's Whakato. Big cutout pass to Hepton Penator. Got the first try. Down to the 10. Oh, there's a chance in the corner here. Very close was Toroa, but he's just been hauled into touch. And Watane was there to make the tackle.
Needed to.
Wow.
Yeah, needed to be made. Nice long ball there for Whakato. Shrug off, offload.
Get on the line.
Good palm. Almost there.
Great tackle from Watane.
Yeah.
Now get up and do.
Oh, Bay Plenty. You can hear that.
Bang, bang,
urging to try and get error, but that's a good first carry from Kailas Putoko. Now sadly a Walker, tailor-made for him to gather another 15 metres from dummy half, and he's lost 5 of them. Some good tackling from Bay of Plenty.
They really need that enthusiastic defensive line from Bay Plenty to try and put some pressure on Waikato.
Salusi with that carry, and now Paul again.
Good momentum here for Waikato.
Kaio Koroheke pinches 12 metres. Yeah, good set coming from Waikato here. They have carried the ball out of their defensive area really well as Watane again looking to put pressure on Jackson Williams, or in fact it's nicely gathered by Angus Gillies on that right wing side. Good take from him. Expansive play. Oh, no way. It's picked up by Morgan, and Waikato have got the ball. Bay of Plenty forcing their hand just a touch, paying the price.
He just poked his nose through that line there, and he was looking for somebody in support, maybe to create something. In the end, just couldn't hold on to it. One out at the moment from Waikato. But looking to close this one out.
As for Sita. Slow play the ball. Waikato would love to score here. Watane. Good tackle. It's still there for Waikato. Baratoka couldn't get his second try. He goes into dummy half there for the next play. Here's Watane, who's marshalling the team around nicely at the moment. Kaio Koroheke choosing to take the tackle. Sadly a Walker. That was a kick from Cowan, but it was well read by the Bay of Plenty defence.
Not much thought in that kick, really just kicked it straight into Pereira.
It's good hard carry from Walker now. So 8 minutes to play. Whakato. Oh, Hepton Penator, great hands from him. Putoka with a good tackle, but Bay Plenty got a bit of momentum here into the set.
They need to find Pereira now. A little bit of live wire. This is the last tackle.
Yeah, happy with that play. And there goes the kick from Pereira. What's the chase like? No pressure on Marshall whatsoever. And Marshall is going to return the football. Well here, facing Marshall. Green pasture. Open real estate. Couldn't quite link up there with sadly a Walker. But Bay of Plenty need to get back now as Waikato look to take full advantage here. Morgan.
I'll be looking to shift straight away if I can.
Sadly a Walker. And now here's Salusi. Real energy from Salusi. Sadly a Walker waits at dummy half again. Now Langi. Whoa, he just was a sitting duck. Something happened there. Cramp as he was hitting it up.
He got sniped by a cramp. Need to move on here. I saw in the NRL last night that don't wait around for like minor things like this.
Yeah.
Just pick the ball up, move on.
Oh, Lungy just lost his leg, didn't he? Yep, there it goes. And Hampton Penatoa wasn't needing a second invitation.
Right, move the ball to the side. Let's get on with things.
Exactly. Well, game's still in the balance. Pretty much 4 tries to 2. Bay of Plenty need to score next, really. If Waikato score the next try, you'd think that might be beyond the Bay. But we'll see. Tries in the game so far to Cowan, Sulusi, Connolly and Baratoka for Waikato. And 2 of them have been converted by Watene for Bay of Plenty. Hampton Penatoa, Jackson Williams, 2 goals by Kameta. So these are the games in the NRL today. Titans and the Storm. I think they both lost last week, didn't they? Cowboys and the Warriors. That one at 7:30 tonight. The game for the Warriors there before they come back home next week against the Bulldogs, and then the Broncos and the Dragons. Broncos been good so far. Dragons surprisingly winning comfortably last week.
Yeah. 200 games for Tohu Harris.
Yeah, looking forward to that, eh? How good has he been the first 2 weeks? Phenomenal. Over 100 tackles in the first 2 weeks. Anyway, let's go. Oh, speaking of tackles, how about that one right there? Was a beauty from Huranui for Bay of Plenty. Here's Watene. Watene with the kick, but Wairua Jackson Williams is right there, and Bay of Plenty have got possession just outside their own goal line. No errors here for Bay of Plenty. Absolutely critical. They get to their kick here. Well, they're going to fancy a shot at it. There's a lost ball, and Waikato have got clean possession here. Fosita.
Worst enemies at the moment as we see Waikato trying to close this one out.
Portman Paul proving hard to tackle once more. Waikato, here comes Watene. He's taken by Huranui. Sadly a Walker, that's for Sita. Big body in the centre of the field, but he's handled by the Bay of Plenty defence nicely. Whakato, one of the tacklers. Sadly a Walker again. Kaio Koroheke, now Portman Paul looking for that offload. Not going to get it this time. So Bay of Plenty's defence holding firm for now. Watene. There goes the kick as he timed that one. The bounce is too awkward there for his teammates, and Bay of Plenty. That was a pretty decent set defensively from them.
Yeah, didn't ask too many questions, Waikato. A little bit one out, a little bit flat. This was the last of it. Probably an opportunity there. Baratoka to grab hold of that one. This is potentially the last opportunity for Bay of Plenty, with time ticking away.
Well, they've got a 7-tackle set here as we see Boynton Rameka come up to the 40. Sabatini, now Darryl Walker, who takes a lot of hard carries. Walker. Good tackle in the end by Cowan. Pereira at dummy half. And now here comes Mulipola. Mulipola proving hard if he can get that arm free. Now that's come off a Waikato player. That should be a fresh set for Bay of Plenty. As the referee rule knock-ons both ways here. I reckon it'll still be Bay of Plenty ball.
Good run here. Shrugging off defenders, holding the ball out in one hand. The ball gets battered down. Went backwards.
Yes, it is Bay of Plenty possession. Whakato. This is it now, isn't it, for Bay of Plenty?
Indeed, yep.
They've got a score from the set. And Whakato's dropped it again. Or just being forced to hurry his actions a little bit and paid the price. And he's not going to get any help from referee Parkinson.
He'd be a little bit disappointed with his efforts today, the young kid. He's tried hard. Unfortunately, just these little errors have cost him. And while he was trying hard to fight to play the ball quickly and set his team up, it's a pretty crucial error at a pretty important time of the game.
Well, Waikato led 16 points to 0 at half-time. Certainly been a very even second half. Carlos Patoko, exciting player. Now he's lost it. That was messy.
I think Bay Plenty were really lucky not to concede a penalty there. It was a real late flop. And then he hung on to him for way too long.
Bay Plenty got away with it. It was Latonga. And, well, same scenario here. They've got to score really from the set here, Bay of Plenty. Still won't be enough to take the lead, though, with only 3 minutes to play. Here's Latonga. Sabatini. Here's Mulipola. Trying to smash his way over, but he's well handled by the Waikato defence. Pereira. Now Walker, well read that play from Cyrus Morgan. Sabatini again. There's space there for Sabatini. He's short though. Well, it was worth a shot. Bay of Plenty. Got a score and it's Whakato who's dropped it. And away comes Waikato again.
There's a horrible pass out of dummy half. Didn't give Whakato any option, really. Probably should have still caught it, but other circumstances, last tackle, you really needed your dummy half in there to come up with a play. Let me see.
Good run there from Baratoka, but he's lost the ball. Has Salusi from the next play, and here comes Bay of Plenty again. Through Huranui.
Just needed to complete the set there, just hold on to the ball.
But time is Bay of Plenty's enemy. Remember, they have to score twice. Here's Pereira. Oh, he's got some super skills. Callum Pereira. Didn't see him in the first half, but he has been a major factor in Bay of Plenty's resurgence in this game. 20-16. This kick's got to go over and super fast.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll not even take the kick.
Jog, Tori, jog. Suck it in, breathe.
Yeah, Pereira. He's quick, agile, holds the ball out in two hands, just slides through. Once again, just going back to that, the offload that just didn't need to happen for Waikato. They hold that set and they pretty much close out the game.
Well, 20 points to 18 now.
They're going to take an age to get back to this kickoff, Waikato.
So 20 points to 18. To the try there from Pereira. To add to the earlier tries by Jackson Williams and Hebden Penator. All converted by Jason Kamita. But you can see time is almost up. That hooter is about to go any second. Waikato, you can see, are in no rush at all.
Yep.
Can't blame them.
Well, we don't know what the official timekeeper's watch is at, but they might get a couple of tackles in here. Bay of Plenty. Throw caution to the wind, nothing to lose.
Wow,
Couple more plays for next week.
Amazing, of course. As we see Mulipola. Try will win the game for Bay of Plenty and get them into the semi-finals. This is Pereira. Oh, he has dropped it. Oh, he's saying it was stripped out of his hands, but there is the hooter. Waikato are going to hang on, and it's Waikato through to the semi-finals. Very little in that game. With Bay of Plenty coming back from 16-0 down in the second half, but it wasn't to be, with Waikato winning by 20 points to 18. 4 tries to 3 to Cowan, Salusi, Connolly and Baratoka, 2 converted by Watane. But a great comeback in the second half from Bay of Plenty. Hepton, Penator, Jackson Williams and Pereira getting the tries, as I touched on earlier, all converted by Kameta. But Bay of Plenty's season is over. They, along with Wellington, are the teams that don't make the semi-finals. Waikato, though, are through to the last 4, and they will play the winner of our last game this weekend. That is tomorrow's game in Dunedin between the South Island and Counties Manukau. And the loser of that game tomorrow will play Akarana, the defending champions, in the semi-finals. So there we are, folks. We hope you enjoyed this game here from Rotorua today. But Waikato have prevailed. They win it by 20 points to 18.